Hey guys, today is Monday, June 19th. Getting ready to do just a little bit more planting. Got the okra here. Only have 2 cups because, again, we've never had okra. Don't even know if we'll like it. I waited till later in the day first because I had some things to do this morning. But also it was super hot today, so I figure we'll wait until the sun starts kind of going down. As you can see, it's getting kind of low in the sky. It's like 8 p.m. So I figure this is the best time today anyways that I have available to not stress these little plants that much, because honestly they're not very big and hopefully they're supposed to look like this. I've never grown them, so I don't know. I mean, the leaves are kind of like all pointed downwards. Hopefully that's normal. So I've already kind of prepped the holes, and this is at the very edge of the garden, so this is where the pumpkins are going to go, and that's where the beans are planted currently, which, by the way, we've started to get some beans popping up, so pretty excited about that. I'm hoping to see more in the next couple days. But in the meantime, these 6 holes are reserved for the okra. This particular variety is supposed to get up to 6 feet high, it said. So we'll see. I don't know how high it's going to get. Our fence here on this side, not nearly that high. This is like 4 feet. So we'll just see what happens. I mean, it's not a vine. It doesn't climb. So I'm hoping that the fact that we can even attach it to the fence will just be fine. So, okay, I'm going to start putting them in the ground. All right, got all of the okra in the ground. I don't know if I said this before, but these are Clemson spineless. Sorry if it's a little windy out here too, guys, because I don't have my little windsock today, because I mean, honestly, it's been very still, and then just suddenly the wind has picked up, because that always happens every time I come out here to film something. Anyway, so here I have the eggplant. I'm a little nervous because they're very, very, very small, so I don't know how well they're gonna do going directly into the ground. So I have like only 4 of the, however you pronounce that, and then I have 6 of the black beauties, which is like your typical sort of eggplant, I suppose. I'm just going to try to put them in here. Again, I'm going to like dig the hole out, and then I'm just going to add a handful of this organic fertilizer. Again, it's just the Job's vegetable and tomato plant food, so that's what we're gonna do. After we're all done planting, then of course we'll come through and like rewater everything. And just so you know, I'm not sure if I'll put the video out because I started the drip irrigation and realized I'm nowhere near having as much as I would need to do it. So I started this, like I ran all of the drip tubing from the faucet, and as of right now it's just kind of all on top of the ground because I didn't know exactly how it was going to be, so this is just a temporary sort of thing until I figure out what it was going to be like. I'm glad I didn't bury it, because what I decided to do instead, like you can see, I've capped the end off from like all of these, and because I didn't have anything here, because I had nowhere near the tubing I needed. And I was gonna do it like this and run a little line to every plant, and basically realized there's way too many plants here to just have all these connectors and drip emitters and all of that to do every single one. So I've ordered, it was supposed to come today, but it got delayed by FedEx for some reason. But I ordered this copper tubing that has 18-inch spacing on the drip, like little holes, so that the drip irrigation is more or less like automatic rather than having individual emitters and individual little 1/4-inch tubing going to it. Because I looked at the pricing and realized in order to get enough of these little spike guys that hold the drip tubing and to get enough of this 1/2-inch main line, it was going to be like over another probably $120, because I also had to have the individual drip emitters, which a lot of these, like you can see, this is the actual drip emitter that allows, these ones are like, I think 1 gallon, and then the tubing goes to them, and I didn't have enough spikes, so these all just have like these individual little barbells hanging off them, so I don't think that's exactly what I wanted. I'm hoping that my calculations of 18 inches are not off. If anything gets off too bad, then I'll have plenty of pieces to run like these little emitters to them, and then I won't have to worry about it. It's gonna have to follow this whole line and go all the way down that way, instead of being able to be in between with little things to go off it. It's just more cost effective, and I don't know, maybe that'll change later on, but as of right now, that's kind of what I've decided. Like I said, it was supposed to be delivered today. It's not going to be delivered till tomorrow. I had to order more teas to accommodate many more lines, because you can see, if you watched the previous video, I ran lines wherever I thought I was going to need them, and instead I'll need tubing for this one and tubing for this one separately. So, and the same goes for here. Instead of having one long tube with little emitters, I'll need 2 lines of tubing. But in the end, I think it's gonna be better. It's costing me about half as much to do it that way, so hopefully it works out. Like I said, if I find that I don't have an emitter right by a plant, then I will run a tube to it if necessary. So, okay, I'm gonna see. I'm a little scared to separate these little baby guys because they're so small yet. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna start getting the holes ready first, and then we'll see. I just thought I would show you really quick how small these seedlings are. They're very, very small. Hopefully they do okay, and I'm hoping, because they're also members of the nightshade family, that they're okay with their stems being buried a little, and hopefully they'll grow some roots. And this is actually not the smallest seedling. I've had smaller ones down the way there, and I'm trying to be very cautious about burying them too deep or hurting them by, you know, pushing them up against this rough edging. Hopefully they'll be all right, and hopefully they'll grow. They're gonna be really sensitive to being watered for the first little bit until their little tiny baby roots start really taking off, and we'll see. Next year, I'll remember to start the eggplants. Now, granted, I didn't even have the seeds in time to start them with the tomatoes and peppers. So I don't know how long eggplants even take. I think it's like supposed to be like 60 days or something to maturity. So hopefully they'll do okay. And then we'll get them planted. It's kind of tough to do all this planting on your own when you're trying to work too. It's finding the time is kind of difficult when you got a bunch of stuff to do the minute you get a day off. Okay, so we got those done. Hopefully they'll make it. We'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna have to water all this stuff in after. But I'm trying to figure out still. I gotta put, I think it was the, was it honey rock cantaloupe over there? Those are the only extra holes available at this time, but I need to start making holes for the watermelon and the pumpkins. So I still need to do that. But I want to at least get all of the holes that I have here planted. And I don't remember what I said was going to go here. So I need to go probably look at my diagram and see what I have for these remaining 5. Is it 5? 2? Yeah, remaining 5 holes. So we'll see. Alright, so all of the honey rock melons are in the ground. I'm a little worried about them because, of course, they weren't really big either themselves. And this particular piece of real estate is right next to a lawn, which has obviously lots of weeds and things growing into it, like roots and stuff. So they're going to be kind of fighting that. Hopefully they'll be okay. And also I'm probably going to come back through with some more staples or landscape stakes to put in between these, because I feel like the fabric is just being pushed up by some of the weeds that are actually still alive under there. So probably have to deal with that at some point, because I don't want them to get buried and, you know, cut off by this fabric, which is semi-sharp. But I think that's probably all I'm going to do for tonight, guys. I'm going to water all of this stuff in. I'll probably do some sort of tour tomorrow. I'm going to, of course, make the little stakes so I can label everything. And you can see the grapevine is slowly but surely trying to come back after I nearly killed it. I don't think I'll get grapes this year, which is actually perfectly fine with me. I'm okay with it trying to grow another year and me figuring out the best way to get it to produce and produce properly. And I need to de-weed all this stuff and put fabric around it and some more mulch and all that kind of stuff. So still a ton of work to do this year, and I bet you we won't get to all of it. So it's probably gonna be a work in progress for a few years. But anyways, I appreciate you all watching this as I kind of struggle and muddle my way through. And hopefully, if it doesn't help anybody, at least I can look back and see what I did and eventually document what worked and what didn't work. So I thank you all, and take care of yourselves, and God bless. Bye.